Hey my lovely foodies, welcome back to the channel. I know it has been a while since my last upload, but thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you so much for making it Roma's Kitchen. Well, on the menu today I have some plantain porridge, Jamaican style of course, perfect for this season, for this weather, so let's jump right into it.
Girl, you better can't cook. Think you know you pay your pretty look. You want to live a restaurant and come done man bank book. Cook, recipe book.
This recipe calls for two medium-sized green plantains. So once you have those, the next step is to remove the green part or the skin of the plantain. And in order for you to do so, you just need to cut a line along the core of the plantain to remove the skin. Or if you don't want to use this method, all you need to do is just use the knife and peel it. Just cut it off, but don't go too deep because you don't want to waste the plantain. So I just did this to one. I'll do the same thing to the other plantain, and this will take me about a minute or less for each plantain. So once you're through with that, all you need to do is just scrape the plantain to ensure that all the green things are gone, all the skin is gone. You don't want that in your porridge. And once you do that, the next step is just to wash your plantains, and then you're just going to chop them up into some good sized chunks depending on the size of your blender. I have a really big blender, so I'm just going to chop these up really big, not too small, and then I'm going to add them to my blender. So that's all good. The plantains, they're in my blender. So now I'm going to go in with some water, and the amount of water that I'm going to add to this will just be enough to cover the plantains. That's enough. You don't need more than this because other liquids will be in the ingredients, list of ingredients, and you don't want to get this too runny. Your porridge must nice and thick and just, ready. All right, so in with the water I go, and as I said, it should only be right at the top of the plantains that you have in the blender, no more than that. See, perfect, this is enough. So I'm going to add to this just a 20 grams pack of oats, just because I have it. This is very much optional, but I love it in mine. It even makes it more creamy, so if you have that, it's a plus, but if you don't, that's also fine. So that all in, I'm just going to blend everything up, and this step is very important. Blend it until everything is just nice and combined. It is nice and creamy at this point. You need no lumps in your porridge, yeah? So once that's finished, here in my pot, I have a cup of water over low heat. Ensure you have it over low heat. I'm adding 2 cinnamon sticks to it. And yes, even though I add cinnamon sticks, I'm also going to go in with cinnamon powder, but not too much, because trust me, this cinnamon will give it a really great flavor. I like adding both the sticks and the powder. It's just fine. So about a 1/4 teaspoon of the cinnamon powder and the 2 cinnamon sticks, and that will just be perfect, just right. So allow this to come to a boil. And while I'm doing so, I'm just going to add a pinch of salt in my porridge. Yes, I add salt to my porridge, about a 1/2 teaspoon basically, if we're trying to be precise here. So once that's all in, I'm just going to give this a nice whisk. Kind of get the salt dissolved and get the cinnamon all around. You don't want the cinnamon to clump in your porridge or anything like that. So once that's all good, once the water starts to bubble or boil, then you're going to add in that mixture that you've just blended, which is the green plantains and the oats, just that little packet of oats, right? So ready, 1 2 3, and we are going in now with that mixture. Do not pay attention to this being runny right now, because once this starts to cook, it will thicken so fast. So ensure that your pot is over low heat and you're just going to stir, stir, stir. This is one of those porridge that you need to pay attention to it. Planting, not just when you're frying it, when you're using it to make porridge as well, you need to pay attention to it because it will get thick real fast and you don't want it to burn or anything like that, right? Next to this, I'm going to be adding some coconut milk, just a half cup of coconut milk. A half cup is more than enough. You do not want too much coconut milk in your porridge, and this is light coconut milk. Do not add coconut cream or any of that strong coconut. Light coconut milk is just fine. So as I said, this is something that you need to keep on mixing or just whisking over the low heat, because once it gets too thick, it will burn if the heat is too much under it as well. And if you've made it this far in the video, guys, don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you like these type of content, that is. And check out my website at roma'skitchen.net for this and other great recipes. Now, here I'm just whisking again. Just keep on whisking. Remember, I've said that many times. Keep on whisking, right? It is getting thick now, as you can see. And this is the consistency I like, but in cooking this some more, this can cook for about 15 minutes, right? Because it's just blended plantain. It will not take too long to cook. So here, once your pot is over the low heat, now it's time for you. This is all nice and cooked. So now it's time for you to sweeten your porridge. And I'm going to say sweeten your porridge according to your liking, right? You can add sugar, etc. But I'm going to show you what I use to sweeten mine. You can choose to use this too. This is condensed milk. The amount of condensed milk that you will add in your porridge or to your porridge, it's all up to you. I do not like my porridge too sweet. I do not like things that are too sweet. So I just add a little and I taste as I go along, and I adjust the taste as I go along too. Next to this, I am going to add a little bit more water because at this point it was too thick. So in the same blender that you have some plantain left over, you can just add some water to it, just shake that blender a little, and then you add the water to the porridge. Ensure that it is still over low heat. My porridge did not burn at all because I had the time, so I paid attention to my porridge. Yeah, so this consistency is perfect. It is not too thick at the moment. I just added the condensed milk, as you can see. So next I'm going to add another sweetener. You can opt out of adding this one. You can just add the condensed milk and no sugar, or the sugar, you must add the condensed milk. But you can choose to not add sugar, but I want to add sugar to mine. So that's brown sugar. Next I'm going in with some vanilla, because how can you not add vanilla to your porridge? What are you doing? So that's it for the vanilla extract, about a tablespoon of it, and that will be good. Also, do not add too much vanilla extract to your porridge. That will spoil it. Too much of one thing, never yet good. Alright, so we mix in here, whisking. Everything is nice and combined at the moment. It is not too thick right now. I am in love with this consistency. I just test as I go along, and if it's too sweet or if it's too fresh, I'll just adjust as I go along. But I add my things a little by little so it doesn't spoil. It doesn't get too sweet. This is a little salt I'm adding in it because it was a little bit fresh, but it didn't call for milk, right? So that's a little bit more salt, a pinch more salt, a little bit more sugar. As I said, I adjust the sweetness as I go along. If it's your porridge, you're in your own kitchen, you adjust the taste of your porridge as you go along in terms of the sweetness. So once I add those extra razzle dazzle inside, or extra razzle dazzle to my porridge, the next thing I'm gonna do is add some freshly grated nutmeg, because how can you not have freshly grated nutmeg in your porridge? Like, what are you doing? Hello? Alright, this consistency is perfect. I'll just give it about 2 more minutes on the over the fire, and then that'll be all. It is so easy for you to make plantain porridge, or as we call it in Jamaica, plantain porridge. It is so easy for you to make it, but it takes some time, and of course you need to watch your porridge, as I said. And I'll just be having 2 cups of porridge all for myself because it is that good. Really yummy, 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 yummy. Nice Jamaican plantain or plantain porridge. Yes, Jamaican style, of course. I will emphasize that several times. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sticking around. Of course, if you like the video, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn your post notifications on, visit my website at roma'skitchen.net for this and other great recipes, especially during the Christmas season. Go and enjoy your porridge. Until next video.